Well, good morning, everybody. Just after 9 o'clock here Friday morning, we are getting you prepared for the weekend. You're watching Live Impact News on WCNC Plus with Majestic Storm here in the main studio right now.
Yes.
You know how I keep it real with you on the Live Impact. So we've got a little bit of a technical situation, which is okay because you have all the tools here that we need to see this impact that this weekend weather is going to bring us.
We're watching a lot of things, definitely.
I know, and I'm watching you watch a lot of things. You guys are busy.
We are, but I'm really proud of our weather team because we've been watching the system for so long, and I feel like we've really been communicating this to everyone who's tuning in to WCNC or the stream. Everyone's aware of what's going on, and I think at this point, people are now just grabbing their last-minute items that they need before the storm system actually moves into the Carolinas.
Yeah, I tell you what, you guys have been talking about, you know, keeping your home, your pets, your loved ones, your car safe if you absolutely have to drive, which is what we absolutely have to do because we will bring you extended coverage this weekend here on WCNC Charlotte, WCNC Plus. Hope you have the app. Well, you obviously do because you're watching us right now on the app. But you want to put it on your phone as well in case you lose power. Yeah. Tell your loved ones across the country who are watching what you're going through and just want to keep tabs.
That's the best thing is that it's all on your phone, you know, because oftentimes, the power does go out, but at least hopefully your phone is juiced up enough where you can keep up to date because I think people will want to know why is this happening? What's going on? Give the latest, and of course, we'll have that for you. So let's just dive right into it. We're going to be watching a lot of things. Of course, we are under a WCNC weather impact alert weekend. So specifically for Saturday, Sunday, and straight into the first half of Monday. And it's going to be because of wintry weather that's heading our way. Now, the storm system, it's forming thousands of miles away. It's going to bring impacts from Texas, Oklahoma, over towards Arkansas, Tennessee. I mean, several states across the South will be impacted by that. And then eventually, of course, we will as well. Now, today, it's not too bad. About 50 degrees, rainy conditions here and there, light scattered rain showers and cloudy skies. But starting tomorrow, we do have some big changes on the way. 37 degrees for our high. Temperatures will continue to drop throughout the day. And then Sunday, our high, again, only 30 degrees. So very cold air will be coming our way. Now, for that window of when really we're going to start to see a lot of that precipitation move into our area will be between about 2 o'clock and 6 o'clock on Saturday. So that's a time frame when we'll start to see a little bit of snow. First some snow, then it turns into sleet, and then it becomes very, very icy. And the later in the day on Saturday, the worse it is going to get. And on Sunday, all bets are off. That's going to be a day where you're just going to want to mainly stay at home because those roads will be so frozen over. A big part of our weather system is that we're not too concerned about the snow. If we get snow, that's great, but really this is turning into one of those storm systems where we're going to end up with a whole lot of sleet and then freezing rain on top of it. So this is truly concerning when it comes to the icing threat overall. So sleet, if you're not too sure what that is, just think of it as tiny ice pellets that are coming from the sky and they're falling and they're accumulating, and sleet is actually pretty loud. You're going to notice it. You're going to hear it once it actually starts to fall. Freezing rain, on the other hand, that's just like a glazing of ice all over on top of it. So this is honestly not a good setup for us. First, we're going to have little bursts of snow. We'll take the snow, but then it's the sleet that's likely going to accumulate, and then the freezing rain on top of it. Now, we're not just talking about a little bit of sleet. Truthfully, we could see 1 to 3 inches of sleet accumulate as we're heading into Saturday and then into Sunday. And then on top of the sleet that's already on the ground. And remember, this is basically ice, little pockets of ice, little balls of ice, and then on top of it you have freezing rain, so it's kind of just soaking everything in, really just solidifying everything. I mean, this is going to be a sheet of ice that we're looking at with this incoming storm system. So again, that's what this purple is indicating. Sleet and ice for us, snow up in the mountains, and then down well to the south of us, that cold, cold rain. So let's break this down for you even more, really timing this out in our future cast. So again, today is the day. We have one more day to prepare before we really start to see those big impacts. Here's our future cast. Now notice temperatures are going to be cold. This is 9 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. So if you have things to do on Saturday, if you're in and around Charlotte, I think the morning time hours will be all right. We'll start to see that mountain snowfall early in the morning though. Remember, between 2 o'clock and about 6 o'clock on Saturday, that's our best opportunity to actually get a little bit of snow. So if you love snow like I do, we'll be keeping a close eye out for that. But overall, we are not that concerned about the snow impact impacts here in Charlotte. Bottom line, that is not our number one concern, because look at what happens. Quickly transitioning from possible brief bursts of snow to then sleet. That's those little ice pellets that we just talked about. So here's 8 o'clock on Saturday. Notice temperatures are going to be cold. We're going to be seeing teens and 20s. So that sleet quickly accumulates. And again, we're forecasting 1 to 3 inches of sleet. And then notice as we're heading into the overnight hours and into Sunday, this purple is still sleet. So it does make its way up in the mountains. So while the mountains likely will get some pretty good snowfall at first, I think it will be mixing in with sleet and then eventually some freezing rain. 7 o'clock Sunday morning. If you think you're heading out the door, I think you should probably rethink that idea, because by this point, we have already seen sleet fall for hours. Temperatures remaining very cold. And this pink here, that's indicating ice, basically freezing rain. And this is really deceiving, especially if you're not used to freezing rain. You'll be looking outside your window thinking that this is just, oh, some rain coming down, it's all over. That's really not the case. This is even worse, because temperatures will be so cold into the 20s. Anything that this rain touches, once it actually reaches the surface, will automatically just freeze over. So if you have things outside that you don't want to just completely be covered in ice, make sure you start bringing those things inside. Make sure your house is really winterized, because we have the precipitation and we have the cold air. So again, as we're fast forwarding just a little bit more, here's Sunday at 9 o'clock at night. Now at this point, this does start to become a little bit of our normal cold rain off to the south and to the east of Charlotte. But bottom line, our temperatures stay so cold even after the freezing rain is all done. That takes us into Monday morning when it even stays. So anything that's going to be out on the ground, it is not melting anytime soon. I like this graphic showing you perspective as to precipitation timeline. So if you're up there in Boone, you can expect to get a little bit of snowfall Saturday afternoon throughout the overnight hours, but likely still going to transition into that freezing rain and ice. So even up in the mountains, while likely you will get some snow, it's not going to last as snow the entire time. Again, from Gastonia, Charlotte, Monroe through Rock Hill, it's going to be a combination of sleet, and then on top of that would be the freezing rain. Unfortunately, I wish it could all be snow, but that just doesn't seem like this is how it's going to play out for us. Now here's our Jerry Hunt Super Center 7-day forecast. I wanted to bring this up to point out a few important things. Today, of course, Friday, we're heading into the weekend. Today's mild, 50 degrees, cloudy skies. We had some light scattered showers this morning. Into the overnight hours, 31 degrees for a low, so starting out chilly. Remember, tomorrow morning and especially into the afternoon, we'll start to see little bursts of snow around our area. That's not going to be surprising, and we'll love the snow while we have it, because unfortunately, worse things are on the way. We'll start to see the transition from snow and into sleet as we're heading through Saturday afternoon and especially Saturday evening into Sunday morning. And that sleet is measured just like snow. Again, 1 to 3 inches of sleet. Just imagine that in your head, 1 to 3 inches of possible sleet, little tiny ice pellets on the ground. And then all of a sudden, it looks like it's raining on top of the sleet, but that's freezing rain, really locking everything in, making it nearly impossible to melt, because after the precipitation is out of our area, on Monday morning, we're waking up to 28 degrees. So again, any of that ice that's on the ground, it's not going anywhere. There's not enough time for anything to melt because temperatures are still below freezing. Monday afternoon, we'll start to get some sunshine, 37 degrees for our high, so there could be some melting throughout the day. I mean, if we get 3 inches of sleet plus up to a half of an inch of freezing rain on top of that, we already have some serious problems there. And then overnight lows Monday and into Tuesday, 14 degrees heading out the door on Tuesday before temperatures start to gradually rise into the 40s. So again, bottom line, our biggest concern is icing. It starts with sleet, it goes into freezing rain, and areas could see up to a half of an inch of freezing rain. I mean, it doesn't even take that much freezing rain in general to make problems, but with potentially up to a half of an inch of freezing rain, we need to be ready for down trees, down power lines. That's why we've been preparing everyone, Jane, for the possibility of power outages. And again, this is a big winter storm system that is really just spreading well across the south, impacting so many states. But for us specifically, our biggest concern is the icing aspect of this, not so much the snow.